You stop being a pussy bitch and start becoming a man when you stick to your principles and stick to what you have to do. All you need is to make a schedule, and it will make such a big difference in your life. So because you wouldn't be late to a math class, right? Why would you be late to something that you yourself arranged? Think of these things as the same. Let's say you're in school and you have a test tomorrow. But since you've came home early, you have many hours, you have plenty of time to prepare for it. So since you have plenty of time, you do not feel this rush. You don't need to study now at this very moment, right? So you procrastinate. Let's just say, okay, I can just do one game, right? One game of, let's say, fucking League of Legends, right? Let's play like one match. Okay, so you play one match. You kind of having fun. Yeah, you know, since I have so much time, I might as well just do another. And then you play more and more and more because you don't feel the pressure. You have plenty of time. You can still study for the test, right? Then, for example, okay, you have 2 hours left. You decide to hop off the game. You wasted 3 out of the 5 hours you had. And now your brain is all messy. It's all overdosed on dopamine. And now it expects more entertainment in order to focus on certain things, right? So you sit down to the test. You open the book. Kind of start thinking about something else. You open the phone, check messages, you close the messages, you open the messenger app again, then you close it again, then you kind of look back at the book, then you open Discord, then you close Discord, then you do something else. Okay, I'll just browse like a few memes until the minutes on the clock are divisible by 5, if you know what I mean. And then another hour passes, right? So from 5 hours, you are given 1, and so you've lost 4 hours of time you could have spent on studying because you believed you have enough time to study, because you don't need to rush, you don't need to start your work immediately. Okay, you're stressing out a little bit, right? You're stressing out. Okay, I have this test, I need to study, I need to log in. Then you see you have so much material that you fail to go through it. Then you stress, and the stress makes it worse. But then you procrastinate because you need something to comfort yourself. You need to alleviate the stress. And so you procrastinate more. Okay, you have 30 minutes because you did the same thing you did earlier because you were stressed. And that's how you fail the test. I had situations like these in my life. I've conquered procrastination now at this stage in my life. But I only wish that I could have conquered my procrastination earlier. If I could change time, I would send this video that I'm making right now, younger version of myself. Notice how whenever you procrastinate, it's always that little feeling of comfort that you're either feeling too urgent and stressed out, so you need to relax, you need some comfort to ease the stress, so you escape into procrastination, or you believe you have so much time that you have no pressure to study or to do work, and so you default to procrastination. Notice how it all comes down to a feeling, right? It basically comes from your brain being stupid, right? Not many people know, but your brain is actually comprised of different parts that all have their own self-interest, right? The part where your thoughts, like conscious thoughts, arise are like here in the front of your head. And the more emotional parts are like here in the back of your head. The conscious part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex's interests are to analyze, logically plan, and strategize to solve a solution, right? And the emotional part of your brain, its goal is to create emotions to react to certain things and lead your organism right through these emotions. Sometimes the different parts of your brain, a lot of times actually in the modern day, misunderstand each other and come to different conclusions, right? Logically, you know, you really want to study. You know it's going to be good for you, right? You know it's the best thing you can do right now, and that's your logical part of speaking. But then your emotional part comes up with all these random bullshit excuses like, oh, I have plenty of time, or I'm too stressed right now. I think I should study better. I will study better if I'm relaxed, so I'll hop on Instagram for some time, or TikTok, or for some time check Snapchat, whoever even fucking uses Snapchat, to relax yourself, right? Because the intention is to alleviate the emotion. The emotional part of your brain guides your actions through emotions. So even though your conscious brain wants you to do it, there are other players involved in your decision making that have different things to say. You probably hear discipline, right? Conquer the lizard brain, all that stuff. But you know, that's a skill. You need to improve it. and the test is tomorrow, right? So you do not have time to practice discipline if the test is tomorrow, right? You have to practice for the test, not to control your brain. You need a quick fix right now. Maybe later you can work on a more permanent solution, right? But I propose you something that doesn't require discipline, that you can implement immediately. Maybe not immediately, but once you've implemented, your next day is going to be immediately better, and your next day is not going to have any procrastination. Like, your productivity is going to be boosted by like 80% after watching this video. And what I want you to do is schedule your lifestyle, right? I've heard this quote from a guy I was talking to on Discord, on like a self-improvement Discord server. He told me, schedule to lifestyle, from lifestyle to legacy. And I just thought, I'm gonna tell you that because it goes really hard. Basically, why I'm telling you to schedule your life is because notice how in school, for example, when you go to class, you don't analyze whether you want to go to class. For example, okay, I have a math class at 9. You don't think things like, I can't be bothered. You just do it. It's a schedule, right? You don't even, the emotional part of your brain doesn't even turn on. It's so completely natural. It's such a habit for you to go to class when it's on the schedule that you don't even analyze it emotionally. Your emotional brain doesn't analyze it and doesn't come up with certain things to limit you, right? Of course, you might stress if it's a difficult class, but you still go anyways. Interesting, right? Imagine if instead of a class, it was your time to study. Imagine if on your schedule, for example, at 11 I study or something like that, right? And imagine you had the same approach as to going to class. You go to class and you do it. You do it. You don't procrastinate before you go to class. When the timer is 9, you are there in class. So imagine if you could only make it so that whenever it's 11, you study. You don't procrastinate before that. At 9 I go to class, at 11 I go study. You want to make it the same thing. You want to make your brain act the same way in these two scenarios. But what I want you to do at the end of this video is to not go to another one and just give yourself 5 minutes, right? And plan your next day. Plan it. Consider when you finish work or school or whatever you do. Consider your usual timing, and then add on top of that what you decide right now you will do tomorrow. Because it's harder to push yourself to do something immediately right when you're about to do it, but it's easier to plan out the things when you're not stressed out, when you're actually in like a logical thinking mood before, right? So you can plan out your next day on the previous day, and you can do it every single day. And then you will have a schedule. The same way you go to class at 9, the same way you were gonna study at 11, because it's a part of your schedule. And now you want to be completely strict when it comes to it. You don't want to ignore your schedule, right? This is very, very important. Because, so for example, if you're playing like a ranked game in League of Legends, I don't fucking know, and the game lasts longer than you expected, what an absolute fucking Sigma male Giga Chad would do would be like, time's up, I need to go work. You close the fucking game. You don't give a fuck. It's your schedule, right? You stop being a pussy bitch and start becoming a man when you stick to your principles and stick to what you have to do. When you know you have to do the important things and you do them. Because otherwise you choose pleasure over what's important, right? That's tiny dick energy, right? That's for pussy ass bitches. So you don't want to do that. You want to be completely strict. Let's say you're playing with your boys, or like even fucking training in the gym. Well, when the time is up, when the next thing on your schedule comes, you cut it off immediately. You don't give a fuck. You quit unconditionally and go do that thing that you wanted to do. So because you wouldn't be late to a math class, right? Why would you be late to something that you yourself arranged? Think of these things as the same. So you don't need to read any productivity books at this point. All you need is to make a schedule, and it will make such a big difference in your life that you will not feel the need for that. This has been Costless Edit. Subscribe to this channel for more videos and advice.